Hey VC, Wes here, checking in with another episode of the Vinyl Survivor series. This is where I talk about albums that I have recently listened to for the first time out of my inbox, and I'm deciding whether I want to keep them or not. So let's go ahead and get into it. I got a real batch of stinkers this time. These are bad. I mean, really, there's some bad stuff here. So let's go ahead and get into it. The first one we got here is the Four Tops Live. This is their fourth album. But it's not really. It's a live album, so it's them singing a lot of their hits. But it's the fourth release from the group, from 1966. And this was a really nice, clean copy. I found it at Goodwill, still in the shrink. But I just did not enjoy this at all. I mean, just this kind of music live, it's okay if you're there, but as far as to have it on an album, it's just not the energy just doesn't transfer for me on this. Purple Motown label, and yeah, I really just did not enjoy this at all. I mean, you got all the hits. You got Reach Out, I'll Be There. It's the same old love song. Can't Hurry Love. They do the Girl from Ipanema on here. Didn't enjoy this one, so it is not going to be going in the collection. I'm glad I got the chance to hear it once. It was worth 50 cents to hear it, but not going to be keeping it, so that one's going away. Okay, the next thing we have here is an album by Quincy Jones, something I thought I was really going to like. This is The Dude from 1981. But what I didn't realize was the songs Just Once and 100 Ways. Horrible, horrible songs. I never want to hear them again. I didn't realize that was what this was, basically. Very, very cheesy, stuff you would hear playing in a department store kind of music. Just, bad. Really, really bad. I did not enjoy this at all. It was a struggle to get through this. It's on A&M Records. And yeah, I know Quincy Jones has done some decent stuff, but this is not it. I did not enjoy listening to this at all. So this is definitely not going in the collection. This is bad. This needs to be burnt. Okay, the disappointment continues here. We have the Disco Connection, Isaac Hayes movement. Yeah, I didn't expect to like this, and I didn't like it. It's just it's disco, and it's not good. Yeah, I understand this is probably popular in its time. It's got that custom Hot Buttered Soul label there on ABC Records. I don't really know a lot about the Disco Connection. It's sort of a group that Isaac Hayes started. I guess they had a few releases under the Isaac Hayes movement sort of sound, or Disco Connection moniker. But yeah, no, it's not good. It's disco. I guess if you like disco, maybe this is good for you. But disco is not my thing at all. I don't find any joy in it. So this one not going in the collection. Okay, number 4. Finally, we get to something good. We have Elton John's Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, which contains several hits. This was released in 1973. This has Candle in the Wind, Benny and the Jets, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, and Saturday Night's Alright for Fighting, which great classic Elton John songs, which I already knew. The one big surprise from this album was the opening track called, what's it called here? It's called Funeral for a Friend / Love Lies Bleeding. It has a very proggy feel to it. Very cool. Like I said on Elton John's Blue Moves, I really enjoyed hearing some of his sort of proggy sounding things. A lot of a lot of keyboard rather than piano. It was really interesting to hear that stuff from him. It's a part of Elton John that I don't know, you don't hear, because they weren't big monster hits. So if you weren't around at the time, you didn't hear those songs. But I loved it. That's an awesome track. It goes on for 11 minutes. It's just amazing. So if you haven't heard some other Elton John stuff, check that out. But this is, it's well-known sort of double album. Really cool artwork on this one, and this is a really super clean copy, very crisp, and really enjoy this. And this is on the Rainbow MCA Records label, and it has the G inside of the barbell symbol stamped in there, so that means this was pressed at Gloversville pressing plant, where pretty much all most MCA records that I find are pressed there. So that's Elton John's Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. This one is obviously going in the collection. Classic album, one of his best ever, and has some more tracks on here that I want to explore some more. The stuff that wasn't hits that I've never heard before, and really cool to experience this. So that one is going in the collection, absolutely. And the last album we have on the chopping block for today is from Rita Coolidge. This is her self-titled debut album, released in 1971. Rita Coolidge is a sort of a 70s singer, sort of typical, but had some romantic involvement with both Stephen Stills and Graham Nash, and she was supposedly partially responsible for the original breakup of Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, because she dated Stephen Stills and then she went to Graham Nash, and that caused a lot of tension in the band. So, but this is just her singing. She doesn't write her own stuff. She sings other people's songs. She's got a Van Morrison song on here, Neil Young song, some other stuff, Otis Redding song. And there's a lot of people playing on here. He's got Leon Russell is on here, Stephen Stills is on here, Bobby Womack, Donald Duck Dunn. Who else is playing on here that I recognize? I guess that's mostly it. Ry Cooder plays on here. But yeah, overall, this just really didn't do much for me. Not always much of a fan of singers who don't sing their own material. Just sort of lacks that personal connection that it has when you write your own music, I think. And it's very difficult to really sing somebody else's song well, I think. So I was not impressed by this at all. I enjoyed hearing it once, but this is not going to be going in the collection. And so that's Rita Coolidge, self-titled. Interesting to hear, but not going in the collection. So that's another episode of the Vinyl Survivor, a rough one, definitely. 4 albums are not making it, and only 1 album is going to make it this time. I think that's a record. A record I don't want to try and break, but it may happen. You never know. Sometimes I get into sections of my inbox that are just, I don't know what I was thinking at the time when I bought things, or things turned out to be different than what I thought they would be. So yeah, that's another episode. I want to thank you for watching. Leave me some comments if you like, and we'll see you again real soon. Cheers.